What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Let's Grab Lunch. Today we have this giant ass um, egg white omelet with two slices of the Velveeta cheese in it. I think it's like five egg whites or something. I'm not too sure because I just had a container laying around with egg whites, so I just poured a bunch of it in. But it's pretty big. It's like half the plate, if not more. And then four boiled eggs. These are brown because we boiled them in some kind of broth. I'm not too sure. It was just in the kitchen. Then we got some of these Dots pretzels. They're really good, honey mustard flavored. And then two servings of protein. So let's dive right in. I'm gonna take a bite of this egg white omelet first. So good. So what I did with the egg white is mixed in some fish sauce and MSG. And then just kind of mixed it around and threw it on the pan and then added the Velveeta cheese in the middle. It's so good. If you want to take your eggs to the next level or your omelets, add a little MSG in there. I'm thinking today's video is going to be fairly quick. My lunch isn't that big. Hopefully, you're having a good week. We're halfway through. At least I think. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, I sometimes get my days mixed up. I don't know. It's all a blur. The worst is when it's like Tuesday and I think it's Thursday or something. Just because you've had that kind of week. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah. So good. Let me bite into one of these hard boiled eggs. Look at it. It cooked all the way through. We usually mix these in with like a beef. It's kind of like a stew almost. And we just eat it with rice. It's really good. I'm gonna get some of this protein shake in me. Ooh, there we go. So I was talking with my wife yesterday, and she was telling me she had like a Macy's cart full of stuff, like gifts and whatnot. And we were just joking around, and she was saying that, oh, I'm gonna check out, and it's gonna be from Santa, I guess me. And she was saying, can I go ahead? And I told her if it's worth $500, then no. But she said, oh yeah, there's some of your presents in there. And I went back and said, if my like share of the presents is about 33%, then go ahead, check out. Like that's okay with me. Just kidding around and stuff. But she eventually said, no, you got 1 in 12 presents. Right? So I did math real quick. It's like less than 10% of the presents, right? Let me check. 1 out of 12. Let's see. Yeah, 8.3%. So then she said, okay, how about 2 out of 13? And I said, no, that's still not 33%. That's actually 15% according to the math. And then she said, okay, how about 3 out of 14? So she just kept increasing both the top and the bottom number by one, assuming that it would stay the same percentage. And then when she later got home, we talked about it. And she asked, why is the percentage increasing if I'm increasing both, you know, your number of presents, but also like the total number of presents? And then we got into this whole like 5 minute discussion about how fractions and percentages work. And it just made me think that, in school, we're taught to do a lot of stuff without really knowing what's going on, like the reason behind it, what it really means and stuff. Like, yeah, I can add, subtract, multiply fractions all day, but in the real world, how does that apply? Like, theoretically, what's going on, right? But then the more she thought about it, the more it made sense to her, finally, after some time of explaining. But yeah, she was telling me that, yeah, in school in Vietnam, we're just taught to do the math and memorize it, not really the reason behind it or what's really going on. And I can agree with that. There's a lot of math that I could probably do and get you the right answer, but if you ask me to explain it, I mean, I may eventually be able to explain it, but not right away. And she mentioned, the way of new math, which is like, I think it's called core math. It teaches you like the concepts and it kind of breaks it down, apparently. I don't know. It looks confusing to me. When I took a quick look, I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't really want to know either. Because my thinking and how I was raised is just memorize it. You should just know it. But if it's actually teaching you the concepts and stuff, and I think that's valid, that's fair, you should be able to reason your way through something. But yeah, math is hard. Whew. All right, finish the omelet. It was pretty filling, to be honest. And then 3 boiled eggs left. As you can tell, I love boiled eggs. Well, I love eggs in general. So, like, after that whole conversation with my wife, I started quizzing her on, like, fractions, like adding fractions, subtracting, multiplying, and stuff. She was able to do the math, but kind of like, I don't know, I feel like that's general knowledge. So it made me kind of think of trivia, which I suck at. I'm horrible at trivia. The only saving grace I have is like when it's sports trivia, I'm okay with it. But other than that, like actual general knowledge stuff, I'm horrible at it. But I have this buddy who is a genius when it comes to trivia. And I feel like I don't know how he knows all this information or where he gets it from, but maybe just over time you play so much trivia, like you just gain all this knowledge. But he doesn't really play trivia like that I know of. But yeah, like if I pull up a trivia thing right now, you'll see how bad I actually am. Like, okay, here we go. In what country did the first Starbucks open outside of North America? I don't know. If I had to guess, maybe China? Nope, it's Japan. What does CODA, CODA, stand for? That one I do know, child of deaf adult, just because my wife's a sign language interpreter. So, okay. In a website browser address bar, what does www stand for? World Wide Web, I know that. Where were the Declaration of Independence, Constitution, and the Bill of Rights stored during World War II? No idea. I couldn't even tell you. But the answer is Fort Knox. Okay. What is the tiny piece at the end of a shoelace called? I know I've heard it before. And if I hear it, I'll recognize it, but I couldn't tell you. In aglet, am I saying that right? Pretty sure I am. Which company's slogan is "You're in good hands"? That's Allstate. Just because I've seen so many commercials. Who was the first televised president? No idea. I probably couldn't even name you like 15 presidents. Okay, it was Franklin D. Roosevelt. I would have never guessed that. Pocahontas was baptized and given what English name? The answer is Rebecca. The hell? That's so random. You go from Pocahontas to Rebecca. Also, done with the eggs. Now, we're just working on this. Finish the protein shake also. Alright, just a couple more trivia. Let's see if you're getting them right. That buddy of mine that I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. You probably got all these right so far. Originally, Amazon only sold what kind of products? Books. I know that. In 2009, what became the first Morse code character to be added since World War II? I know nothing about Morse code. I don't know. The answer is the at symbol. Okay? Who painted the Mona Lisa? Leonardo da Vinci. Yep, got that one right. I wasn't 100% sure though. That was kind of just a lucky guess. These are so damn good. I could eat like a whole bag of them. I think it's like 130 calories per serving, which is 1 ounce. But the whole bag, it's like 16 servings. So a pound. Pretty sure I could down a pound of these in one sitting, like if I wasn't paying attention or if I were drinking beer. These go down easy. Okay. Let's do it this way. In what year was the internet open to the public? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, my first experience with the internet was AOL. I don't know if people nowadays know about AOL, but what did AOL stand for? America Online or something, maybe? But it was dial up, and it wasn't even our internet. I was able to borrow my friend's password and like sign in. And with that, you had to use a landline, and you couldn't be on the phone and also be on the internet at the same time. So if you were on the internet and someone picked up the phone, it would disconnect you, if I remember correctly. And yeah, you would just hear this super annoying sound during logon. I can't even imitate it, but you should Google it, YouTube it. And yeah, the AOL sign on like sound is. But yeah, let's see. In what year was it? 1993. I would not have guessed that. I would have said AOL was like around early elementary school for me. So I would have said like 96, 90, no, 97. I would have guessed like 97, but it's actually 1993. Who is often credited with creating the world's first car? I'd say Henry Ford. Carl Benz. I'm assuming that's from Mercedes Benz. Learned something new today. But yeah, as you can see, I'm not great at trivia, but I do enjoy doing trivia. Usually because there's good food and drinks. And like, as you grow older, do you start losing some of that general knowledge, like stuff you learned in school? Like, I don't know. I see a lot of these questions online, like mathematical equations and stuff, where you have to follow like order of operations. And I feel like just looking at the comments through those, like, yeah, a lot of people forget stuff that they don't use, right? And that's where use it or lose it comes from. But throw some addition, multiplication, division together, and add some parentheses in, fucks everyone up. Unless something has changed, it should be PEMDAS, which is parentheses, exponentials, right? Multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. That's how I learned it. I'm not sure if something's changed. I don't think it would. So, yeah. But, no. People learn that in what? Fourth grade? Third grade, maybe? Fourth? Fifth grade? Sometime in elementary school. And, I mean, you use it throughout high school and stuff. But once you get out of school, post high school or post college or whatever, and you start working for a while, you haven't seen stuff like that in so long, so you just forget about it. And that's probably what happens with a lot of trivia. It's like at one point or another you knew it, but now you don't, because it's just been so long since you've had to use any kind of like, I guess, knowledge around that. But yeah, thanks for joining today's lunch. Hope you had a good lunch. Hopefully the rest of your workday goes well. Catch you on the next one. Peace.